The five-judge bench headed by Chief Justice Chandrachud today differed on certain aspects of the same-sex marriage verdict, especially on the applicability of adoption rules for unmarried queer couples. The bench passed a 3-2 verdict against adoption rights for the LGBTQIA community. How far are we from granting adoption rights for same-sex couples in India is the big question we are asking. It is important to understand the challenges that are faced by queer couples, queer community today. Apart from the fact that their marriage is not considered legal or how they are not allowed to adopt, surrogacy has also been a long-running fight for the queer community. We're going to talk about this with a few people who understand the challenges as well as the expectations of the queer community. Mr. Shyam Konur, co-founder of MIST LGBTQ, Sriram, co-founder of MIST LGBTQ, also joining us on the show at this point in time. Aditya Advani, LGBTQ member, also joins us on the show to talk about this, and Advocate Shamsharish Rain, senior advocate of the Supreme Court, also with us on the broadcast. Mr. Shyam Konur, I'll begin with you. I hope you can hear me. Thank you for speaking with NewsX. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you so much for inviting us. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, well, the court, of course, ruled in a 3-2 majority, that's the ratio, that adoption by queer couples is not legal. And the predominant reason that was cited by them was that it is not good for the psychology as well as the mental health of a child who's going to be raised by people who are of the same sex. How do you respond to that?
See, I'm not sure on what basis have the court responded. It could also be based on the complete hearing, but if you see the surveys run in other parts of the world, parents who are queer are better than the parents who are not queer in terms of bringing up the child. In my personal experience, I would say that both of us, me and Ram, have nephews and niece. And my nephew was so excited to hear about this. The way my nephew is brought up, he understands what's the difficulties that a queer family goes through. So I think it's gone the days where children don't understand what are parenting, who their parents are, who care for them. With a lot of work done by different NGOs, people know what good touch, bad touch is. It's not just about the queer people who are harmful for the children. It's just about the mindset that people come up with. So I think it's, I don't want to blame the judges, because when I was going through the judgment, I thought I was so positive. I was so excited that something good is going to come here. Maybe some judges or some people need to be educated more about these things. That's what I would say. I don't want to blame that everyone is wrong here. We just need to give more education. And that's more important. And does not lie only on us. Again, just to be clear, it does not lie on us to educate them. I think they need to also go through things that are available, resources that are available online these days. You find a lot of surveys that have been talked about child care, child education, how to bring up a child. And I'm sure this fight is not over. We'll have to fight further than this. And we will be able to bring up right things, right assumptions, right ideology within the society, and judges and the lawyers as well. This is my hope, I would say.
Right. And Mr. Sriram, in fact, the court also said that the Central Adoption Resource Authority was not acting responsibly when it in fact barred unmarried and queer couples from adopting children. How do you respond to that? In fact, the other 3 judges differed.
I think I concur with Shyam here. Anyone, irrespective of their gender and sexual orientation, should be allowed to adopt. We talk about humans are equal, human race is equal. If some part of the country, some part of the world where adoption is allowed for queer couple, and it should be allowed everywhere in the world. We are not different than anyone, but we are not different in any way. So I think, like Shyam said, they should educate themselves more. The Supreme Court released a booklet for addressing queer people and women in the past. I think they should go back and read the nomenclature given there, and then change their mindset and make difference in the law in the coming days.
In fact, Justice Kohli, Justice Bhatt, and Justice Narasimha went on to say, and I'm going to quote from the judgment, that this is not to say that unmarried or non-heterosexual couples can't be good parents. Given the objective of Section 57, the state as parents has to explore all areas and to ensure all benefits reach the children at large and stable homes are provided to them. In fact, the operative word, Aditya Advani, in this particular statement was stable homes for children, and for some reason that is not something which unmarried couples or queer couples can provide to a child. Aditya? Aditya, are you there with us?
Yes, I'm here, and I would say that's patently ridiculous to say that gay couples are not stable. I myself have been in a stable relationship for 33 years. I know many people who've been in similarly long relationships, similarly gay couples. They have children. The children are just absolutely fine. They're happy children. So these judges have to get out of the little hole they're living in and go and see who is out there in the world. There's many, many families with gay children. We have 2 children ourselves. They're 11 years old, twins. Maybe they could have interviewed some children of gay parents and seen what happens and who they're like instead of deciding for themselves. I'd like to ask them, have they met any of these children that they think are not likely to be happy children, or are they likely to be maladjusted children? These people have no idea. Basically, they have ruled from a point of view of their own prejudice and their own heterosexual hegemony that they hold. And I wish that they will have gay children themselves and gay grandchildren, is what I wish upon these judges, and that they will find a day when they will understand what gay people go through. It's particularly stupid and wrong to say that gay people are not loving. In fact, we have more love. That's what gay is about, right? We have more love in us than heterosexual people who beat their wives daily and come home drunk. And it's ridiculous to say that those children growing up in heterosexual families are well adjusted any more than gay children growing up in gay families. So it has no legs to stand on what these people are talking about. It's basically a prejudicial judgment and a prejudicial statement, and I completely refute it. And I think it's completely bizarre and stupid and ludicrous, these statements they've made.
Right. There's some silver linings also, Aditya, that the court wants to advocate and wants the government to take seriously. And that is, of course, to make the administrative impediments that queer couples face today go away. Would you consider that as some sort of a gain from today's verdict?
No, not at all. When it comes to marriage, certainly you ask a heterosexual person about marriage, to them it is a fundamental right. They're talking about marriage of their children before the child is even born. The day the child is born, they're planning who they're going to get the child married to. They have the big, fat, lavish weddings. It's all about wedding in Indian society. And to them, that's a fundamental right. When it comes to Indians, heterosexual Indians, it's a fundamental right. When it comes to homosexual Indians, it doesn't matter. It's not a fundamental right to get married. Then if it's not a fundamental right to get married, why are the bloody heterosexuals getting married all the time? Right, left, and center. Starting November now, up to February, we will have our roads will be clogged with heterosexuals getting married, and the lavish weddings and the waste of money that is spent on them. Not married once, they get married many times, these people. They get married many times, divorced, married all over again. And you think that we can't even get married once? It is ridiculous. It is not a fundamental right to get married. Of course, it's a fundamental right to get married. What sort of statement is that?
Shamshavish, Aditya used the word prejudice, and prejudice is not something which goes away overnight. It is not something which can just be wished away. Obviously, there are provisions when it comes to laws of equality in our constitution. How do you think the adoption conundrum should be taken care of, considering the fact that one home is better than no home for a child who's perhaps languishing in adoption homes?
Here I would say that the judgment in itself is little different. in the sense that I, being a gay, I can get married. Oh, sorry, I can live with my partner, but I cannot get married. I alone can adopt a kid, a child, but we both together cannot. But we both together are staying together in one house, but the kid's name will be in my name and not the other's name. And his property, his rights, his everything would not come to this kid, whereas this kid has stayed with us for the whole life, for next 30, 40 years, whatever. And the property rights, the inheritance rights, everything does not go of this person, of my partners, to the child. I mean, the law is very different. This is something which is very wrong. And yes, it's better to have a good home, good house, than to have no house at all, no home at all. Heterosexual and homosexual, everyone are same. This problem has become that in our religion, religion is by us. If we humans only don't exist, where is the religion then? So if a religion is there, it's only because of us. So what if this entire gender, everyone say that we are not Hindu, we are not Muslim, we are just atheists. Now what? Now give me right. You are saying that Muslims don't allow, Hindu don't, and Christians don't, and blah, blah, blah. So now we don't believe anyone. Give us right. So there, the courts have to see that religion cannot be given, can be made an excuse. You can't say that a civil society, I am a lawyer, I am a mediator. I see daily so many matters wherein a woman is badly thrashed by the husband, by the in-laws, and then you say कि ये तो चलता है, हमारे society में ऐसा होता है. Whereas on the other hand, a gay couple are living peacefully. They are very good for the society. They are earning pretty well. They are doing very well. They do charity. They have kids. I mean, they have bought some kid at their place, and they are doing pretty well. पूरे मोहल्ले में उनका नाम बहुत है. So civil society क्या हुआ? What is civil society? Civil society is only wherein a woman feels safe in the society. That is a civil society. So among these gays, we never feel any kind of threat, or men don't feel threat in when they are with the lesbians, whereas a woman always feels insecure with a man. So a civil society, it's you who needs to understand what is civil society. Civil society is where everyone has equal rights, everyone feels safe, and feel that this is your home. Your home is a place where, I mean, we all are into a battle. We all are fighting a war. We all have a sword and the shield in our hand. So your home is a place where you just go off guard. Your shield and your sword is just kept down. Your entire thing is out, and then you be yourself. So your country is supposed to be your home. And we are not, I mean, the ones who are actually fighting for it, they are not able to feel that this is their home. Home is supposed to be the safest place where whatever you want to do, you are our kid. And state
Right.
is supposed to be the parent.
Let me also, in fact, bring in Shyam once again. Shyam, if you look at the National Commission for the Protection of Child Rights, they have also been against same-sex couples adopting children. In fact, the justification they give, or in fact which has been explicitly written on their website as well as cited in many verdicts, is that the child rights body says that same-sex parents may have a limited exposure to the traditional gender role models, and that is the reason why adoption by gay couples is detrimental to the child. How do you respond to that?
So I would say we are fighting against the traditions. Why do a child need a mother and father? Why can't the child have two fathers? Why can't child have two mothers? Like I would say, like Sir Advani said, why can't we get those children here? I would love to get my nephew here and ask him what he experienced. He loves to hang out with us. All my relatives trust to leave their children with us. And I would say me and Ram have been together for 9 years now. I don't think lot of heterosexual marriages in my family have not lasted for 9 years. I would say that. I would proudly say that, actually. I know they might be listening to me here. But I can proudly say that we have been together 9 years. We have both our family trust on sending their kids. We take care of them. They are hanging out with us in the
Okay,
holidays.
right. Let me also get a response from Sriram on this as well. In fact, Sriram, the petitioner also went on to say and cite another source, which they were referring to a study which was conducted by the Catholic University of America. In that plea, it was said that emotional and developmental problems are twice as prevalent in children of same-sex parents than in children with opposite-sex parents. How do you respond to that?
I mean, I have the same question. Let's heterosexual parents have. We just, anyway, there are going to be problems, right? Like there is no family without a problem, and that doesn't mean you will deny a basic right like adoption, like marriage, to queer couples, and just give the same thing to a heterosexual couple just because the problems are lesser there. We need to get into that to analyze and understand how we can overcome that problem, so that at least the future generation and the future couples from the queer community will not make that, and the study can change. These are studies with theories and not practical examples, and I would end there.
Aditya, how would you respond to what the petitioner or in fact the defendants have said in this particular case? Why do you think that there is this large prejudice against changing this family values system which has persisted for so long? A lot is changing around us.
It's basically a majority. The majority is threatened by homosexuals. Homophobia is basically based in misogyny, the hatred of women, okay? So if you understand where homophobia comes from, it comes from the hatred of women. So I don't want to get into that, but to say that homosexuals couples don't have limited exposure to traditional roles. Well, we grew up in heterosexual families. We had mothers and fathers, okay? It's not like our entire lineage was homosexual. We had mothers and fathers, and we know what the role of a mother is and what the role of a father is and what good parents need to be. And, as for Catholics and, Kattar Hindus or Muslims, I would totally discount these people. Why should these people be looking at religious organizations? Why don't they do some studies that are based on empirical fact? I personally know many families that have children. The children are absolutely fine. They have no developmental problem. Where are these so-called children? I'd like to meet them. With Catholics, come on, the Catholics have been abusing the children in their churches for centuries. They are under severe scrutiny. Are we going to believe the Catholics? The Catholics, I mean, come on. Can they even hold a torch up to anyone? The Catholics? I mean, you're quoting a Catholic organization.
It's not me who quoted. It was not quoted by me. It was quoted in the court.
But I'm saying, how can they be quoting Catholics? I can tell you things about Catholics. They have their lawsuits in every country of the world against Catholic priests, and they've been hiding pedophilia. So what moral ground do the Catholics have to say anything to anyone? But that aside, there's no issue. I have 2 children. I'd like you to meet them, or these judges to meet them one day, and they will convince them. The next round where we will fight, actually, I'll say nothing has changed for us because we are where we were. We are fine. We are not going to be worried. We were always hated by the heterosexuals. We'll continue to be hated. We'll live our lives. We'll continue to party, dance, and have a good drink. And we'll know the heterosexuals are have a limited judgment in their small brains. And we will forgive them. These are our fathers, mothers, cousins. They're all the heterosexual majority. So we don't really mind. So this will happen to the next generation. I have children. I know the children's friends. The friends all know me. They all know we're gay couples. They will see how society has changed, and society will change on its own.
Aditya, you're absolutely right. And Shamshavish, the expectation was, Shamshavish, that when gay sex was decriminalized, it felt like this was going to be an organic extension of that landmark judgment. But apparently, there is a lot to be crossed over. There is a lot to be, in fact, understood. And there is this prism, perhaps, through which prejudice does come out. And that is exactly where perhaps the parliament needs to work on now.
Yes, the parliament has to say that if you see the history, it has always been that when women fought for their rights, they were a piece of joke in the media everywhere. Oh, she wants a voting right. When black asked for their rights, they were piece of joke. They were always a joker in that joke. When Sardars asked for their right, they were piece of joke. So it has always been that whenever someone laughs on you, it means that they are very powerful, and this is the only way to pull you down. So there is something that according to me, the word is symbolic crime. That you have been putting transgenders, gays in your TV, in your movies, in your series as a joker. Stop doing that. So we all have to file a PIL on this topic especially, and then yes, society will eventually change. We all have to be very normal now. We have to go to the mall and don't look at them. Or dekho gay couple ja raha hai. We have to be very normal. That is how our kids will learn. The society will change eventually. The ones who are now 60, 70, 80 years old, we are not expecting them to change. Now their life is almost over. They would never change. According to them, their religion, culture, pratha, everything is same. It would never change. It's us who has to change. It's us who has to tell our entire family. If someone is making a joke in front of us, it's us who has to speak up that no, it's wrong. Unless and until we actually do that. And if someone else is doing in front of us, then we have to stop them also. Eventually things will change. The voting rights, everyone has to think that whom to vote. Voting right is very important. 24 is just round the corner. Think before voting, and yes, change is necessary. Let all of us work together for a good PIL. Let's keep on persuading it. Many countries, around 50 countries are recognizing them. So I hope in near future, India will also start recognizing them and give them equal rights. Their human rights, their fundamental right will be as at par as with the other genders.
You're absolutely right. And that's exactly the progressive approach that, of course, our culture and society needs to advance towards.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.